So today we are on with another one of our autumn harvest videos. I'm really excited to show you this one. We've got the weird and wonderful golden corn from Taniguchi Koi Farm. This is one of his newest creations. It's a farm that I admire. We saw in one of our last videos, we harvested the Gosanki and the Goshki that he's producing. He's a fantastic breeder, really great understanding of parent fish and bloodlines. And this project that he's working on at the minute is really fascinating. The golden corn itself, if you look it up online or try and get an image and overlay it, there's one particular famous fish, which was an All Japan Koi Show winner, owned by Max Koi Farm. Absolutely superb, unique fish. There's no real category for these yet. I'm guessing he's going to continue. The project's a few years old. They're gaining more traction and popularity at the moment. That fish was superb. It was from one particular parent set that he's using. There's actually 3 spawning sets. The foundation for all of them is basically Asagi and Ginrin Asagi. So that's been my little bit of knowledge all along to help guide me in understanding what to select with these, because they really are an unknown entity. And yeah, these arrived with me in April. They're about 12 to 15 centimeters. They're incredible growers. They've got incredible body lines. So I'm guessing that looking at, knowing some of the parents that are being used, there's a lot of size in there and fish with big bone structures in general. So yeah, these have done really well. There was initially actually in the pond with the Gosanki, so these were overcrowded for a while. When they got separated, they really started flying. The initial batch, I had about 200 fish altogether. I think we're sitting around 40 or so pieces now that are being retained and will be retained moving forwards. I'm not letting any of these go at the moment because I've got to learn what these are doing. Like I say, I had a bit of an idea of where they might head based on the fact of the Asagi blood being such a prominent part of them. I've used that criteria. We'll talk about that a bit more. A couple of different types. We've sort of got the all yellow bodied one, some of those with some form of pattern as well, and also the sort of white based ones. A big part of this golden corn lineage is the Kanoko style patterning that they're producing. Kanoko, when it's right, looks incredible, and we're now, this far in, we're starting to get some showing really strong signs of it. So enough on them for now. We're going to move them over to the bowl, have a quick measure up and a look, and then towards the end, again, we'll select a few pieces just to talk about in greater detail. So here we've got the results, looking pretty awesome, to be fair. You'll see from the video footage, it is a really mixed bag of what we're getting out. This is all part of the fascination, not really knowing what's coming, what to expect, or what we're going to end up with out of them. Size wise, like I said, they've grown really well, and they are still growing well. I can see that they are generally going to be a lineage that produces pretty big fish. Like I say, back in April, 12 to 15 cm they arrived at. We've got 32 cm there at the smallest end, and 41 cm there at the biggest end of them. So I mean, that's a roughly 1,500 gallon pond that they've been in, not for the whole season either. All this lot in there, plus I'd say I think we had about 20 or so others that were taken out not so long back. Yeah, I mean, I think you probably gathered from previous videos, I'm a big fan of body and place a lot of importance on it. And we can see in these, the body line of this, the head shape, the sort of general shape of the face, the mouth, the power through the body as well, looking really strong and promising. You can clearly see the two sort of, I say two types because really we have got the two types. We've got the more sort of full body coloured fish. That one's looking quite a lot like the well-known one, the Kanoko, starting to take shape. And then we've got this white type, which are seemingly developing in a completely different way to the other ones. You can see differences in colours as well, but that's quite normal. I'd say there's a good mix. I think the 3 parent sets altogether Like I said, they all got Ginrin Asagi as the base fish. The other parents that we had a Karashigoi, a Sorogoi, and a Chagoi was actually one of the fish, believe it or not. And I know the Chagoi was a big fish, so that's pretty exciting. That's obviously playing a part in what we're seeing here, and the mix of colours. We've got yellowy colours, we've got orange, we've got the sort of more red colour coming in a few as well. We can see here, which is probably more Asagi than anything, but the same mixture of bloods in there. They're off the same parent fish. So yeah, I mean, overall, like I say, we can see a lot of progression. If we look back again, the fish that we're going to overlay, we can actually see on this one, if we look close up, we're getting the red centre to the scale. This fish right next to it as well, actually, also the same, looking good. It's even looking, more so this one, shaping up really, really well. Now this Kanoko, one thing I am learning very quickly with these is size is going to play a huge part in creating that finished look, like the show winning example, because what needs to happen here in the skin, the fukarin really needs to progress and become more prominent as this scale fills red. So the fukarin area around the scale is what's going to be the lighter colour, with then the red centre in the middle. So yeah, this one's really looking promising for achieving that kind of effect, to be honest with you. We've then got a few like this developing sort of like actual pattern as well. There's obviously elements in there. What's actually going to happen with this in the end, I'm not sure. I'm expecting these areas to stay and sort of white, develop in volume a little bit. There could be some Kanoko in there. This pattern is also a possibility that it could pull apart as the fish gets bigger and create more Kanoko in the scales. This one, great example of what I was really expecting to happen with the whiter type. See, that's getting really strong Kanoko in there. The head pattern's recently developing, and we can see the coloration in the fins as well. Now, my main selection criteria for these white ones has always been on the basis that at their root, these are Asagi. So basically with Asagi, as we see in the video, I just recently did the toe size selection one. The coloration, the red coloration in those is coming up as the fish get older. So knowing, they were a big part of the genetics of these fish, I've not rejected any of the white ones all along. Just like with Asagi, I've been looking for some form of coloration, either in the fin or on the body, even if it's just one yellow scale, red scale, whatever it is. And that's been enough for me to expect that the yellow is going to come. Now, how it comes, we're not sure. It could come and stay Kanoko. It could actually form solid blocks of pattern. In some of his older examples, we've seen that happen as well. So they are a bit of a gamble, but that's been my guiding force all along with that one, really. And yeah, by the looks of it, to be honest, it was a good guess, because it seems to be happening now as they're hitting about 18 months old. Big changes, big progression, so it's looking quite good. I'm just going to select through these now and just leave a few key examples in the bowl to look at further, and the rest are going to go back into a bigger pond and raise a little bit more over the winter. Okay, so I've just put a bit of anaesthetic in the bowl just to calm them down, because the Asagi blood's certainly making them a little bit lively. So if we want to just take a closer look at these examples, I'll show you my sort of thought process and where these are heading. So first of all, we've got this one, which is, like I say, the best example I've got so far of the sort of golden corn that everyone is becoming aware of and chasing. Really, really fantastic. We can see in between the scale there, this fukarin starting to progress where it's lighter, and the red in the scale here that's eventually going to fill out and fill the whole scale. So there's only time that's going to do that. It's not a process you can force. Size will be its friend as well to help the fukarin come up. So yeah, really quite happy with that one. Again, lovely body line to it, nice head shape. Yeah, that's sort of where we're at with that one. What I'm seeing happen, like I say, size going to play a huge part in getting to that sort of finished article. But yeah, Really happy with how that one's looking. Moving on, again, one of the more sort of thing, this fish has been patterned all along. Again, what's really going to happen here, we're not too sure, but what I suspect is potentially we're going to have more solid patterned areas like we can see here and here, because that is sort of, you know, very condensed pigmentation. But as this grows bigger, I do believe we'll see areas of Shiroji here and then isolated areas of Kanoko as well. So I think that could be really, really awesome as that gets some size and that process starts playing out. Again, completely unique fish, nothing like them. Lovely sort of pattern in the fins there as well. So yeah, quite excited to see what that does. If we look around, like I say, the white type has probably been my most favourite, to be honest, as it stands, because it really is a lottery as to what we're going to get. We've already looked at that one a little bit earlier, but we can see the strong Kanoko forming in the fish, and with the added element of the Ginrin, that's really cool. Nice coloration in the fins and the head. It looks messy at the minute, but this is all new coloration. It's only just started surfacing, so it needs time for that to solidify and actually become a solid pattern. But certainly looks very, very interesting what's there. If we look onto a few more of the white examples, just to really show you signs of progression, we've got one here which is sort of progressing quite a lot faster. You can see in the body now we're starting to get, you know, yellow Kanoko coming out in that fish. On the head as well, we can see it, nice head pattern forming there. Again, it's young colour, so we're not too sure. These always had colour in the fins. That was my guiding sort of force with these. And now, you know, that's paying dividends, and the rest of the body's coming as well. Another really strong recent example I'm liking is this one. It's only in the past sort of few weeks I've noticed all this pattern forming here. Again, we've got the yellow in the fin, and yeah, really interested to see what could play out with this one on the body. Then others that we've got, this one's actually forming a lot stronger on the head at the moment. Quite interesting head pattern forming. Again, nice coloration in the fins, it's really attractive. We have got early signs of pigmentation on the body as well, so I'm expecting big changes from that one in the coming months. This one again looks nothing really at the minute, apart from we've got pigmentation in the fins, the head coloration's all new. Again, I'm not showing any signs on the body yet, but I'm pretty confident there's going to be something to come. But Ginrin quality is absolutely lovely on those. Yeah, looking across again, this one showing very early signs, really early signs of pigmentation on the body. Again, it's there in the fins. That really has been a strong guiding force as to what's been expected, and a really nice white colour. Now we can see the sort, if we look closely on this one, the darker back in this is that Asagi blood really coming through. Again, you know, from the yellow pigmentation wise, all the same stuff going on. We can see it strongly down the side of the fish here, starting to come in the Kanoko form, as well as some solid pattern. Probably expect this fish to darken up and go more Asagi, but probably hold the yellow pigmentation as well. Finally, we've got the one here, which really has reverted back to the Asagi type, really. Beast of a fish, powerhouse in the body. What this is going to do, not too sure. I'm probably expecting more of this pattern to actually solidify over time. We can see it's doing that more on the belly line on this side, getting thicker and closer together. But it's going to probably create a really interesting pattern across that fish. So yeah, as you can see, it's a really, really mixed bag. Still, time's going to tell. I'm still learning, fascinated by these. And for anybody, I mean, the sort of Kawarigoi market is booming at the minute, all the weird and wonderful. Yeah, stay tuned. We'll bring some more updates on these in the spring, when they've had a bit more time, and see where they're all at.